Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back today for another video. Now, in this one, I want to take a look at a new update coming to Fortnite Battle Royale very soon, potentially regarding a brand new sword. We're going to dive into everything right here in this video, so make sure to stick around throughout the entire thing, and I'll get you caught up. Also, drop a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That would mean a lot. I'm uploading daily Fortnite news, information, storyline updates, and much more, keeping you up to date and in the now with everything going on within the game. Huge shout out to these guys for supporting me with the supported creator code in the Fortnite shop. If you're ever buying any V-Bucks, make sure to send me a screenshot of you using my supported creator code and doing so for a chance to be featured in an upcoming video. So, as it stands right now, Season 7 is still extremely new to the game. It's brand new for the most part, and as far as I can see, the main majority of the opinion is Epic has done a fantastic job so far. I'm interested to see more of the storyline. We'll find out more info for sure when we get more loading screens in the future, but I do want to say, it looks like we got a huge teaser today from Epic. I wasn't expecting something else this big to be teased so shortly after Season 7 started, but here we go. We have something big happening in the game. I'm going to roll the video clip for you really quick for the teaser and just let you see what it is. So there you go, basically that was the teaser for a weapon that is going to be fit like a king that is coming soon to the game. Now, obviously it looks like it is a sword, and from that teaser, a couple main things have been confirmed. Now, if you'll recognize, maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know, but that area where the sword was actually being pulled out of some kind of a rock was actually the underground area that's underneath Polar Peak when the iceberg melts. So that's confirming the iceberg is 100%, now it is 100% for sure, melting, revealing further places. We're going to be able to get to that area that I showed in yesterday's video that is only accessible in playground mode through a glitch. I figured when I made that video that this was a place that was probably going to be available to players to access soon because it was pretty well developed. There were even spawns for items, there were even chests that were spawning down there, so it's definitely really interesting that they're already putting it out. I mean, maybe that glitch was just a sign that, hey, this is ready, this is what they're getting ready to do. I don't know when the iceberg is going to start melting exactly, but the second we get information regarding that, I'll be sure to keep you updated, and you can count on me being lightning quick with the updates. Now, something else is very interesting too about this teaser that was intriguing to me especially, and said a lot to me personally, so let me explain. It's very easy to tell that the person who is grabbing the sword is the Ice King, and if you consider where they are, you know, they are underneath the visible part of what we can see on Polar Peak right now, basically in the castle courtyard. That almost confirms to me that the Ice King, you know, that is his castle. We've been talking a lot about that being his castle, considering castles and kings go together. But this is kind of like the icing on the cake for me personally, because we visibly see him teased right outside of the castle pulling a sword. And again, in the tweet, they reference him being a king. Everything is lining up here, and I think that one teaser, that one 10-second teaser that they put out today is insanely packed with information. It's got a lot of stuff in there, and I'm curious as to when we're going to be actually getting this sword item. I'm hoping it's probably going to be in the next update. That's the hope. It looks insane, and that brings up a lot of other questions. I mean, are melee weapons going to be genuinely good to use in Fortnite? Like, what are going to be the cons and what are going to be the pros? The pros need to be pretty heavy for it to be a significant weapon, because if it's not shooting people, it better be able to do some crazy stuff, like literally block bullets if you hold it the right way, or, you know, maybe it's a one-hit kill. There's got to be some kind of advantage to actually using this sword and not picking up a weapon, and I'm curious to see what that advantage is. What's really interesting is some of you might have noticed this, but the sword has appeared in Fortnite already, way before any of this stuff. So you can see in the main Season 7 loading screen you get when you start up the game, you can see the Ice King himself holding his trusty sword. So it definitely appears as though he was successful in pulling the sword out. I mean, it was pretty evident in the teaser, but that's a confirmation right there. And I'm really excited about this. I mean, this could go one of two ways, at least in my mind, this sword update. The sword update could be really good or really bad, because as it stands right now, pickaxes do 20 damage per shot. They updated it a while back to be 20 instead of 10, so as it stands right now, your pickaxe can kill people in 5 shots, assuming they don't have any shield. But if you just spawn in, you can kill someone in 5 hits with your pickaxe, which is incredible. Teams have even started just jumping around corners and spamming the pickaxe on people because it's so effective. If the pickaxe can kill people in roughly 5 shots, then the sword should be able to do it in 2 to 3. That's at least in my mind. Maybe even 1, it depends. It really does. I'd say probably no, probably 2 is that fine line. The sword has to be usable. I'm really hopeful though, because if you look at the sword the Ice King is holding, which we assume is the same exact sword, I mean it has to be, right? It's actually got a little bit of electricity swirling on it. It's got some sparks, some lightning, whatever you want to call it there. So definitely it appears as though the sword has some power, some mysterious force of its own that is very powerful, it looks like. So maybe the sword isn't just a sword, maybe it's a secret sword that's been enchanted with some spell or has some mystical ability. I wouldn't doubt it at all if the sword gave the user some kind of, quote-unquote superpower. The way they're hyping the sword up, the way they've been teasing the sword right from the beginning with this guy on the plane holding it, wow, that's crazy, makes it seem like the sword is going to be good, especially pulled out like that. There have been so many stories told through time about people pulling swords out of something and being, quote-unquote, the chosen one. I really do feel like the Ice King is going to be such a huge part of the storyline for this season. I mean, in the past, we've had seasons where the max level 100 skin doesn't play a part at all or plays a very small part, but I feel like the Ice King is going to play a big one. I mean, we're still in week 1 and we already have all these leaks about his castle and the iceberg melting, and now apparently there's going to be a sword, a super strong sword. Now another question about the sword is, if it's going to be good, let's just assume it is going to be for the sake of the argument, how often should it spawn in? Like, what is the rarity? Are you going to make it legendary, epic, spawn in pretty often, or are you going to make it spawn in very limitedly, so there's going to be only a couple, if even just 1 on the map? In the teaser, they are in the courtyard area outside the castle pulling out the sword. Is it possible that the sword could literally just spawn right there at the exact same spot every time? If that's true, Polar Peak would be a bloodbath every time. I don't know if that's the exact best way to do it. I think it should be something similar to what they did with the Thanos LTM a while back. You guys know the Thanos game mode. It was pretty fun. I'd like to play it again, but essentially the Infinity Gauntlet would spawn in randomly across the map, and then from there people could hightail it. If people knew where it was spawning every single time, it would just be a bloodbath. And the game would be over so fast because people would be killing each other at an alarming rate. Like I said, the sword could be either really good or really bad. I mean, I've seen a lot of things that Epic has put into the game that have been, not necessarily balanced, but fun. Like the plane, it's fun, man. Like, don't get me wrong, it is pretty cheese right now because the meta is just kind of kamikazing, and the bullets that you can shoot from the plane, that doesn't help either. But if you're actually just in the plane, flying around, spinning in the air, having dogfights, that is some of the most fun stuff I've ever done in Fortnite. So the plane, not necessarily balanced, but a ton of fun. And I'm hoping maybe that's kind of the category the sword could fall under as well, where it's a ton of fun to use, might not be super balanced. What they've been doing recently is, as strange it is to say, just giving up on trying to make the game balanced and just trying to make it the most fun it could be. So yeah, there's going to be some cheese, there's going to be some unfortunate deaths that's what comes with having crazy stuff like planes and turrets. But the overall enjoyment level of the game is just a lot more fun when you can go up in the air and just jump off and do cartwheels and jump off and try to catch other people's planes. the possibilities just open up a lot more. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you in another video very, very soon. And until then, guys, take it easy and peace out.